Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is legal leadership and corporate compliance. We have with us Jatin Rawal, Senior Director Legal at Gus Global Services India Private Limited. With over 2 decades of experience spanning contract negotiation, M&A, due diligence, and legal compliance, Jatin has played a pivotal role in shaping legal frameworks across global corporations. From his early days as a litigator to leading legal teams in major organizations like DXC Technology, Oracle, Pearl Academy, his journey is a masterclass in legal leadership. Join us as we explore his perspectives on corporate governance, evolving legal trends, art of negotiation in high-stake deals, and also his personal journey. So welcome, Jatin, to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amir, for giving the opportunity.
Yeah, so let me explain you the flow and the format. It is divided into three parts: professional journey round, personal journey round, and a surprise, the rapid fire round, for which you have to be witty, fun, and quick. And here's your gift, which will be autographed and sent to you, but you have to win it first.
Thank you.
So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation and a legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution. We help law firms, corporate legal startups, SMEs with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So, my first question, Jatin, what sparked your initial interest in law? Did you always know you wanted to pursue this career? And how has your journey been?
So, Amir, I have been I've brought up in the lawyer family, and wherein my most of the family members were litigation lawyers. And my uncles, my cousin brother, my cousin sisters, all are litigation lawyers. So, I've started seeing the positive aura and the attitude of lawyer running in my family since starting, and that fascinated me, since my childhood. So somewhat I decided to be a lawyer since my early ages only, because because of the said reason which I have just stated, and I always wanted to become a litigation lawyer rather than a corporate lawyer.
Wow. So, Jatin, my next question. M&A due diligence is one of your key expertise areas. What are the top red flags to watch for in a merger and acquisition deal?
So merger and acquisition is a separate, domain for most of the law firm, and it basically specializes the major specialized domain for any specific law firm. Now, the most critical, I would say, it is not a red flag, but first, the step number one is to do the due diligence. Once you complete the due diligence, then the next steps are to get the documentation, the data, and then there will be highlights of the issues or the red flags, the high risk, the medium risk, and the low risk areas. So, to start with, maybe, in the due diligence, you have to evaluate the corporate compliances documentation, like chartered documents, statutory registers, minutes, board meetings, ROC documentations and filing, your all the commercial contracts and documentation, where if you have, issued the notices, or MOUs have been executed between the party, any collaboration agreement which has been signed, any real estate contracts, or maybe any employment related issues, your organization chart, if there is any bonuses which has been not a standard bonuses which are given to the to any XYZ employees, any outstanding loans which are there. Intellectual property right is also a very big stake, where we have to evaluate whether there is any infringement or a passing of case, or there are trademarks, copyright, patents which are registered. So we have to evaluate most of the most of the legal areas, litigation, property tax, insurances, legal compliances. Once we evaluate the entire documentations from the perspective of M&A, then we have to evaluate the fact that what are the areas which are potentially risk, and that could be divided into the high level risk, medium level risk, and the low level risk. And then once we will highlight or get the flavor that this is the high level risk, this is the red flags which we have to evaluate. And accordingly, there are mitigation plans also. We have to ensure that how, to close the deal, there could be a condition precedent we have to set. Then, this is will be a CP. You have to ensure that this particular high risk, you have to, complete that before closing of a deal. It could be a condition subsequent. There could be, we can have certain warranties in place, or a fundamental warranty or a specific warranty, to make sure that, all the documentations are in place and the risks which are highlighted are catered to.
Wow. So let's dive deep in the conversation, Jatin. Contract negotiation is a critical part of your expertise. What's your strategy for securing the best terms while maintaining strong professional relationships?
I think so. In this case, there are two major points. I understand that, contract negotiations are critical for the in-house counsel, and we need to ensure that the goals which we have to achieve, and in parallel the relationship which we have to, achieve, these both have to, be on the equal ground. If you There will be certain clauses for sure that they are, critical in nature, and you can't compromise on those critical clauses. You need to ensure that, you have to go for it. You have to ensure that, these are must have clauses, and there is no compromise on this. So there could be a, challenge in maybe maintaining a relationship in that. So, but, you have to balance the organizational requirement with your relationship, so that the contract negotiation goes in a smooth way, and ultimately you achieve the object. So, and of course, it is very important that you have to evaluate that, ultimately it should be a win-win situation between both the parties. It cannot be a one-sided contract, and you ensure that, if there is a one-sided contract, eventually there will be a commercial dispute for sure. So, you have to think practically also when you negotiate, argue, or put across the point, and ensure that, the perspective we have to understand the other party's perspective as well, so that you are able to give the solution also, and balance the contract, so that it is actually practicable solution for both the parties, and we have a win-win solution for both the parties in the contract.
My next question. The Companies Act has seen several amendments in recent years. How have these changes influenced corporate governance practices in India?
So, I think so. There are two major points which recently government has, ensured. One is to reduce the fraud which are happening, and the second is the ease of business. And our honorable Prime Minister has actually worked upon it to ensure these two major points. Recently, couple of years back, there was a mandate registration, verification of registered office, in which there is a latitude, longitude verification. Photograph has to be given, and the director has to be, standing in front of the company's nameplate. So this ensured that, if there are any sham offices or registered office, this is to ensure that this is not repeated, and this basically multiple action has already been taken on that also. Demat account has been mandated recently, and 30th June is the last date wherein all the shares has to be in the Demat account. Incorporation process has reduced and simplified, immensely. Earlier there were 4 forms. Now there is only 1 form which has to be filled, and that is also a big step which has been taken by the by MCA. Now there are online forms. Web forms are there. And there are a lot of features which has been incorporated, like my application feature is there, wherein you can see all the features, all the status of your filings. Yeah, so OTP authentication, UDI mandatory for every certification by the PCS. So there are a lot of actions has been taken by the government to secure the interest of the organization and to ease the business also, so that the not only for the national but for the international uh, organizations and company come to India and do their business. So this is very helpful from that perspective.
Wow. So, Jatin, let's go down memory lane. What's the most challenging legal case or contract dispute you have handled, and how did you navigate it?
Look, to avoid the contract dispute, it is very important to have the clear contracts. So that is something which is normally this when you negotiate. So normally there are certain compromise position which you have to deal with. Now वो राम युग है, मतलब अगर एकदम ही साफ सुथरा चीज हो तो it will be a amazing thing. Now that is the unfortunate part, that you will not have clear cut documentation everywhere. So yes, we also during my 10 or 20 years of my legal career, I have faced a lot of challenges, of course. To though I will not be able to identify the names because of the confidentiality reason, but of course I can share the context with you. So recently, or it is not recently, couple of years back, it was a mandate given to us that there were around 10, 12 real estate property which we have to terminate the lease agreement, and we have to consolidate in one place. So when you enter into the agreement with the landlord, it is always a easy, because it's you are basically marrying with the there is a relationship which we are entering into. It's a marriage relationship. Unfortunately, when you are leaving the organization or leaving the leases, it normally have a better experience, because the landlord have the security deposit with them, and the amount are substantial in nature. So this happens with us also, and unfortunately, most of the lawyers, where I'm giving you the example, were refused to pay back the security deposit, and they say that it has already been adjusted because of the damages done in your in the premises. So we have a conversation with these guys, because we have invested substantial amount in the premises, and to rectify the premises where there were a fault or issues or damages in the premises. So, ultimately they refused to take the keys also. Now the termination date, we reached to the termination date, and now it is the obligation also continue to, continue, because we have to give the keys. If not, then the rent obligation, they will definitely ask and charge for that. So, forcefully we have to go, and we have to, hand over the keys to the court within a couple of months, and with all the, of course, evidences, wherein we have asked the landlord to come and get the keys handover, but they refused to take that. So but no, ultimately it was a long process, which wherein we have got our dues with interest. However, the process was very cumbersome and long process from the judiciary perspective. So, from the recommendation perspective, I always ensure and make sure that, rather going to the litigation, I prefer to settle, the matter there and then, with, of course, management, discussion with the management. But yes, it's always to settle the matter rather than going to the court. And as an in-house counsel, it is imperative for us also to evaluate the cost which is, incurred by the organization. There was another case. In fact, this was recently. I've invested around 6 months in one of the M&A deal, and because of one issue in the due diligence, which we were not able to conclude, and that was a tax-related issue, which came, which was there, but ultimately there discussion with the consultant on go to the 200% of the pure interpretation issue between two big four companies. So ultimately, because of the said confusion, we were not able to conclude that it was not a dispute. Ultimately, it was, but it was a challenge for sure. We have invested a lot of time, effort in that area, but we were not able to ultimately, close the deal.
Wow. So, Jatin, You have led legal functions in global organizations like Oracle, DXC technology. What are the biggest challenges in managing cross-border legal compliance?
So I would say, look, there are two things which I personally feel that cross-border transactions, I face challenge. One is the time zone. Time zone is still, it can be managed because it's a work-life balance which you have to deal with, because ultimately 2 o'clock because of the US timings, and you have to, in a young age, you basically compromise on those things. So, that still is manageable. The second one is I think so, it's misunderstanding could, because of the cultural differences, there could be a misunderstanding between the two parties. And I think so, in the initial phase of my career, that happened. But from the perspective of cross border, that happens in India also, because we also have a cultural differences in India itself. South India versus maybe northeast, or west. So that ultimately is resolvable, wherein you actually deal with the person and deal with the individual more often. You understand their perspective, you understand their tone, you understand what is, from where he is also speaking. So, it is more of a collaborating between both the parties. Once you understand their perspective, their point of view, their culture, I think so it becomes a little easy, and it comes with the experience also, I personally feel.
Wow. So, Jatin, with AI and automation impacting legal processes, how do you see the role of in-house corporate lawyers evolving in the next 5 years?
Okay, so there is a Sanskrit verse, from Rig Veda, Atsomaya Sadgamaya, Tamsomaya Jyotirgamaya. So this basically means that you lead from the falsehood to the truth, and from the darkness to the light. So the essence of law, in my view, is that it is a pursuit of truth and justice. Now, I'm not sure whether that will be able to achieve, by AI. They are they are the enablers. AI will help us as an enabler. They can't conquer us. Human intervention is, I personally feel, is very, very important, because they are here to ease the business and the legal world, for sure. They have actually provided the AI is supporting us to review the contract. They are supporting us to draft the contract or contract clauses. They are supporting indexing the legal precedents. There are multiple in digital India. It was the archive has been digitized. So these all are helped by the AI. They are analyzing the judicial precedences also. So, no doubt they are supporting us. AI is supporting us for sure. But the only thing that, being a lawyer, I always, sit in the library. We, apply our mind while, reading the case laws. And there are a lot of brainstorming which we do. So now after 5 years, I think so that will be one of the challenge I feel personally, that, once you will stop applying your mind, and in a click of a button, you will be able to get whatever you wish to get. The struggling of the legal dilemma, the act of thinking, we will be actually missing those things for sure. And how the young lawyer will be able to, give their view, their empathy, their moral reasonings, the ability to read the unspoken. So that, I think so, is something which I personally feel that we have to look forward to that. Ultimately, the aim is not to get the efficiency, but the justice. That is what legal field is all about. Efficiency, AI is doing amazing work, but having said that, I'm not against AI. I'm in fact in favor of AI, and I actually work very closely with AI, so to understand that what exactly and how we are actually heading towards. So to keep us updated is also very, very important, because now the corporate world is also looking forward for that. It is helping us for sure, no doubt about it. but we have to balance things, and human intervention will always be there in legal field. That is my view.
Yes. Okay. So, Jatin, you have had an extensive legal career spanning litigation, corporate law, and legal leadership. What inspired your transition from litigation to taking role at an in-house corporate legal?
I always want to be a litigation lawyer. That was my dream, and it was always a uh, this is what I always wanted to be. And for 3 years I was a litigation lawyer, and eventually, still, I when I go to the courtroom, though I am doing a corporate work, still there are a lot of time which we have to go to the court, and as an authorized representative we have to present ourselves before the court of law. So I when I enter into the courtroom, it is always excitement for me. So I see the dreams, the aspirations, the shine in the eyes of the lawyer, the young lawyers, and the attitude, that 100% effort will be given to be a best lawyer in this particular courtroom. So that attitude is amazing. And I still personally feel that there are a lot of things which is currently, being a corporate lawyer also, there are a lot of things which I have to learn to see that, aspirations. However, my initial phase was on litigation only, but I see that there was an opportunity for me, considering my personality, that I see that corporate field would be better for me. And so parallelly, when I was doing my litigation, I started the course called company secretary, because I thought that that will be helpful for my legal journey in the corporate law also. And I was fortunate enough to complete the course in couple of years. And then I got the opportunity in Oracle, DXC, and United X also, wherein my client was Hewlett Packard that point in time. So, but from past 10 years, I am associated multiple, domains, like, regulated area of institution, non-regulated area of institution, tech companies. And recently, we have also invested and, widen our scope in producing a movie. It's a commercial movie. And it will be released in, next month. It will be releasing and coming to cinemas, and also in OTT. So, it was a very, very, nice journey for me. And overall, for corporate and for litigation, both are very close to my heart. But, corporate is working for me, at this point in time.
Wow. So, Jatin, who has been your mentor or has influenced you from both litigation or the in-house counsel world?
So the list is long, actually. So yeah, so ultimately, I first and foremost, my father. He was my mentor, and he always encouraged me. And when once I become I become a lawyer, then ultimately, when I joined the litigation, my seniors in United Legs, there were my managers, like Priyadarshini and Kunal Tiwari. When I was in CSC, Nancy Nelson was amazing lady. In fact, I worked with her for a couple of years. Anup Kashyap was there. In Oracle, Vinod Priya was there. Andrea, Christine, and Inka. And in CSC, Raghu Pratap was there. So, and now, my current manager is Alona. She sits in Switzerland. She's very supporting. And, from past 10 years, I'm working with her. And my mentor currently is my CEO. Um, he is actually working very closely with me, very supportive guy, amazing CEO. He is with me in ups and downs. Every nook and corner. So if there is any challenge, I always he's a go-to guy for me at this point in time. So there are a lot of there are a lot of people who I feel that they are mentor and help me in my legal field.
Wow. So being a senior director legal, what are the key elements of having a good relationship with the stakeholders?
Uh, I think that to have a good relationship with the key stakeholder, it is again I'm going back to the point that it is important to have to identify your goal, your achievement, and the relationship. So you have to maintain the relationship with the individual, but not to forget about the goal, which is the ultimate goal in the organization, whatever you are with the organization. So yes, I personally feel, you have to ensure that what are the good to have points and what are must to have points. In must to have points, there is no compromise because that is what you are, paid for. But good to have, you can just, see that, relationships are very important so that you can have, if you will have a better relationship, you will be able to achieve, better things in life.
Wow. So Jatin, how has technology helped you and how has experience using different legal tech tools over the years?
So again, technology is very, very supportive, and there are multiple tools which we use internally in our systems also. The contract management cycle we use internally, which starts from raising the request till the execution of a contract, and all the workflows are in that system. So everything has been digitized. Everything, it's a tool which we are using, and that's from document management perspective, it is an amazing tool, and technology is helping me on this. E-signature, we are doing it, and it's a mandate for us to get the e-signature, which is also something which is boon for us. Ultimately, we are getting that, very easily. Earlier, we have to go table to table to get the documentation signed, and now it is just a click of button. You get the signature from the vendor, then from us. So very, life is easy for the business stakeholder, and they always uh, have that gratitude. They say that this is a great tool which is helpful for legal team. There are certain dashboards which we prepare for the compliances. We have the dashboard for intellectual property right, corporate compliances, labor law compliances, and all the related other than all the admin compliances which we have. So we normally get the reminders if there are any uh, you know advanced notifications we receive that this is what we have to do in couple of days or months. So the technology is helping us for sure.
Wow. So, senior director legal, you navigate complex contracts and compliance challenges. What's the most critical skill a lawyer should master today?
So ultimately for the negotiating, you are just talking about negotiating a contract, right?
Skills. I'll repeat the question
Skills.
again.
Yeah.
So what's the most critical skill a lawyer should master today?
All right. So I think so. There are a couple of things. One is that being a corporate lawyer, uh, there are two things. One is as a corporate lawyer, you need to know the business for sure. Commercially, you need to know the business. Unless you will not know the business, you will not be able to amend the clauses, whatever is required to be done. So, as a commercial lawyer, as a corporate lawyer, it is pertinent to identify what are the risk area, and highlight those risk area and make the changes, and if there is a requirement, then take the guidance as and when required. The second thing, I feel that the skill of a collaboration is also very important. You should have a team. uh, they all are superstar. Ultimately, those superstar have to be trusted upon, And delegation is also an art, I personally feel. Normally what people do that, they keep the things with them only, and ultimately this hit them overall, and eventually you fall flat on that. So ultimately it is important for you to ensure that there is a good team in place, delegate the team, have a teamwork, proper teamwork, and this also give the opportunity for you to grow and the team also grow along with you. So the skill, I would say that, having the commercial understanding as well as having a good team in place to have a collaboration and a teamwork.
Good. So my last question for your profile journey round. How has your leadership style evolved over the years?
How, as a leader,
How has your leadership style evolved over the years?
my leadership style, I think so. Earlier, I've learned with my own mistakes. I think so, and I have learned in a hard way. Uh, in my early part of the career, I think so. I was, and it's okay to admit also that I was not, ready to listen to anyone. So from the active listening, I normally react to a situation rather than responding. But I think so. It is this has, I've learned in a hard way. But if you will ask me that, if this advice we have to give it to someone, I would definitely say this is super important, that you have to understand the perspective of other. Listen, is very, very important in not only legal but generally. And if you will react to a situation, you will not be able to give the solution for sure. You have to respond. You have to understand others' perspective and then respond. I think so that that is something I personally feel that is I've changed intentionally. I've worked upon it and I've changed intentionally on me on this.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and understand Jatin as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years, which are briefly shared in the professional journey, but more uh, details to understand.
So, Amir, my father is a chartered accountant. He's still doing his practice. He's 82 years. His age is 82. My mother was a housewife, and she left us in October 2019. And I am married in 2009 December. My wife Nupur Raval, she's a teacher in modern school and a major contributor for my career progression. So I owe that to her. I have been blessed with two boys, Atharv and Garv. And earlier, when I was, 16 years, we used to live in a joint family. And then after that, we shifted to North Delhi. Earlier, I was little, decent only in my studies, but last in college years, couple of semester, I was, bit serious because I know that, I have to enter into the profession, so I have to be little serious. So my father was very happy that, last few semester I got good marks. But yeah, so this is how it is.
Wow. Okay. So beyond the legal world, what are some of your hobbies or passion?
So, I love biking. So, I normally go solo, and recently I've been to Chandigarh. While I have a 650 Meteor, and I normally, go and ride. My wife is also very passionate, on this biking, and she is normally pillion to me. So yeah, so biking is, I think so, one of the passion for me and my wife both. Uh, Apart from that, I have learned guitar uh, also. And though I'm a beginner, but I have done the stage shows also because in our Diwali parties and all those. So my it is again passion. So couple of songs I have I've learned it. So recently I have done that guitar also. And from past couple of months I'm not very serious, but I also like to do yoga, which is also, I think, personally, I feel that it's important for me to have
Beautiful.
a healthy life. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Jatin, what's one book, movie that has profoundly impacted your personal professional outlook?
So I think so. There is a book, the Inner Game of Tennis by Timothy Galloway, and so basically it distributes the tennis court into two parts: the internal part and the external part. So it's inner game and the external game. So once you manage your self doubts and your anxiety, that is your inner game, that is between you and you only. And if you manage that, then half of your battle will be won in the outer game also. So you will get the psychological advantage on your over your opponent itself. So it is often won and lost before a ball is actually hit. So this is a detailed concept in this book. So but this is a psychological book, and I like this book, and it has impacted majorly me.
Wow. So, Jatin, if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would it be?
I think so. It is problem-solving attitude, and I adapt very swiftly and deliver the impactful solution. So I think so. That is what I am basically. The intention is to give the solution rather than getting issues into the problems.
Wow. So, what's a misconception people have about in-house corporate lawyers?
I feel that the misconception which people have with the in-house counsel is that they earn less, but that I don't agree. That now the things have changed. I will not compare with other area or litigation or law firm, but now industry is giving a very decent income to the lawyers who are the in-house counsels.
So, what are your plans for 2025, Jatin, personally and professionally?
2025 would be, personally, I will start with the professional term. Now, there is actually very exciting time for us. And in 2025, we will be, as an organization, we will be producing another movie. So the focus will be in that. Of course, there will be other challenges which we are dealing with on the education side of front, and we will get more accreditation, we will get more betterment for the organization. We will work towards that. Personally, I think so. I want to and it again, it's a balancing is a challenge with work life balance would be a challenge here. But yes, I want to spend some time with my kids. Nowadays, I personally feel that kids are becoming old very very quickly. So I want to spend some time with these guys. He's my younger one is 4 year old, and he is my stress buster also. When I reach home, he is one that now the elder one is the people. Now I feel that the kids have become more mature very early. So my younger one is always playful with me, and the elder one is now more bit serious with his own work. And so we play we go for cycling, the elder one. But yes, the younger one, I want to spend with time with both my younger one and the older one.
Good. That's good. So, my last one is a googly one. Describe Jatin in one line.
Okay, so I think so. In one word, maybe the problem solving attitude is that is what I want to finish this with.
So, let's go to the next round and have some fun. The rapid fire round. Your
Sure.
go-to comfort food.
Rajma chawal.
You're a morning person or a night owl?
I am actually night person. Yeah.
Wow. One legal term you wish everyone understood.
Uh, that's a difficult one. Maybe we can, come back to this one.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. Your dream travel place.
Um, I think so. Switzerland.
Wow. If you could have a dinner with any legal luminary, past or present, who would it be?
Ram Jetmalani.
Wow. Your dream bike.
I think so. I'm having one dream bike, but I
Wow.
want to have a fat boy also. So Harley fat boy.
Wow. That's interesting. Okay. Your favorite color?
My favorite color is white.
Wow. The best advice you have ever received?
Uh, Listen.
One word. Tea or coffee to recharge?
Sorry.
Tea or coffee to recharge?
Uh, Coffee. Black coffee.
Wow. Let's see.
Always coffee. Coffee with the conversation is with coffee only.
Good. So you did well, and here's your book, Legal AI 101. As you said, AI is an enabler, but lawyers can't be replaced. That's true. So every technology helps us to scale up.
Yeah.
Friends, it's a lovely conversation we had with Jatin Rawal, who has transitioned himself from a litigation lawyer to an in-house corporate role and has progressed to being a senior director legal, and now he's making films. So, and he's a biker. So, and he wants to have a Harley Davidson, which we wish he gets, and takes his children and his wife bike riding. So this is what our coffee speakers bring to the table. Ki bhai, they enjoy their lives also and contribute to the legal community in their ways. And if you want to be featured like Jatin, visit our website, the Emerging India Forum, or our LinkedIn company page, DM, and a team will invite you to have coffee conversation. And this is a special day as in two things. We are celebrating our fifth anniversary of the Coffee Conversation Show, and plus it's festivals also. Baisakhi, Bihu, Piyu, and today's Ambedkar Jayanti. But to all our viewers, happy Baisakhi, Bihu, Piyu, and Ambedkar Jayanti. So enjoy, and we meet with another coffee speaker having those conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks a lot.